Afternoon, welcome to the Rams Review from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with former Derby captain Sean Barker alongside, here to bring you reaction after a defeat for Derby County this afternoon. Norwich City have ended the Rams' long winning run at Pride Park Stadium. But this was a game packed with controversy. Borja Sainz gets a hat-trick for the visitors, but the first and third goals should not have stood. He took his second brilliantly. Derby equalised through Craig Forsyth to make it 1-1 before Norwich jumped into a 3-1 lead. Corey Blackett-Taylor did get his first Derby County goal in the second half. And Derby had a couple of other late chances as well. Aaron Cashin rattled the crossbar. Kanan Jackson went close to an equaliser. And Sean Barker, they deserved the point today, didn't they, Derby?
They did. It was a real contrast to the first and second half. There wasn't a huge difference between the two teams in that first 45 minutes. Norwich played some of the more intricate stuff. We're looking to overload that central midfield, trying to play between the lines. But both them and Derby had very limited opportunities, and that goal just before half-time obviously changed the whole complexion, changed the atmosphere out there, changed probably the mindset of the players on the pitch, because they felt aggrieved. It was an awful decision, and you're going at half-time 1-0 down. Now, whatever was said at half-time, I thought the intensity, the press, the aggression in the second half just was amplified, and all of a sudden it was an end-to-end game. It was entertaining. There was opportunities for both teams, and when it went to 1-1, Derby were in ascendancy, and you felt like they were going to get that second, and obviously Sainz got his second of the game. Really, really good goal. Could have been better in terms of getting tight and making it difficult on him at the edge of the box. But when it went to 3-1, you thought that would be enough. But the fans, the players, the staff didn't feel that, and they got the second, and it could have been. And on another day, it would have been at least a point. So you're playing against a very good side, a good footballing team, a team that you expect to be in the top six, and two really poor decisions go against you. You end up losing by 1 goal. So they can hold their heads up high. I thought the fans were with them. I thought the atmosphere was great. It was just a shame they didn't come away with anything. Yeah, tremendous finish despite the disappointment of Derby. We'll get into all the big moments in a bit more detail shortly, but let's bring you some reaction and hear from Paul Warne.
Yeah, I feel for the lads, really. I thought their performance was really good, and second half I thought we were excellent. I just thought we were just a bit braver on our press and better with the ball, in fairness. I thought we were really good, and I thought, you know, when it got back to 1-1, I'm ever an optimist. I want to go on and win the game. I don't want to draw. Well, I'll take a draw now, obviously, but I want to go on and win the game. And I thought the lads, you know, literally gassed out, give everything they could. Their second goal, in fairness, is individual good play, which we'll look back on, but sometimes, you know, you can put things in place to stop certain things, but individuals ruin that. Yeah, and I was just disappointed that, you know, we'd won a corner and then the ball wasn't out of play. It did look out of play, and it has looked out of play, so I'm not trying to be too facetious. So, and then they go up the other end and score, but then it gives me the greatest joy that at 3-1, I would say about 80% of the stadium stayed in, which I cannot thank people enough for. That means a lot to the dressing room and myself, because they think, you know what, we'll stay with this team. They feel a bit hard done by today. And then Corey to score a great goal, and then the last 5 minutes was just pure fun. That's how I see it, pure fun. Like, literally go for it, send Big Jacob up. That'd have been great if he'd have scored a header. The place would have gone absolutely mental. So I leave disappointed that we don't come away with anything, but really proud of the lads. They competed against 11 men and some, and you know, to the man and the subs that came on, I thought they all performed the way I want them to.
Obviously disappointed in the result, but you mentioned there that throughout the winning run that you've had, only your third defeat in 2024, the fans have really been with you, and as you say, they were right there at the end again today.
Yeah, they're brilliant, and in fairness, like, it's always difficult there's certain jobs, being a football manager aren't easy. Clapping your fans when you lose sometimes isn't easy, but I didn't see everyone was really nice and clapped, and I sort of wanted to say to everyone, like, well, thanks for staying, thanks for come in, thanks for staying with the team, and the lads give you everything. Like I'm a football fan. If I paid my money, I want my team to give everything they've got. And sometimes you're not fortunate with the scoreline. In previous weeks, games, seasons, we may have been, but today I thought we were unlucky really to lose that. I don't think, when called upon first half, it felt a tight game. Jakob makes a really good save and the ball goes out of play and they score from the rebound. So that's a bit hard to take, but it still felt, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but at the final whistle it felt like everyone was applauding the lads like they'd won. And it's a lovely place to play. That's how you want to feel when if you're losing at half time, you come out, you want to feel that the fans are right behind you and it gives you that boost. I mean, it's quite theatre and quite panto. They boo the ref. I obviously love that. I enjoy that whole atmosphere of football. But it was a real good game of football, and it's just disappointing that my lads haven't come away with anything, because I thought they definitely deserved it.
First derby goal for Corey Blackett-Taylor. How big can that be for him?
Yeah, it's a right confidence boost, isn't it? I mean, he's sort of not in the shadow. That sounds really disrespectful, but he's struggled to get game time through a couple of injuries here and there. So everyone wants a good run at it. But I thought he took his goal really well, and he was a threat. I thought T was excellent when he came on, absolutely spray gunning it everywhere like Tom Brady, so I'm really pleased for him, so that was good. And in fairness, those two and Marcus are unlucky not to be in the starting lineup today. Those three trained brilliantly this week and have caused a nice problem for me, so yeah, pleased for them. I thought Foz was excellent, by the way. Let me just put that out there, considering we wheel him out and put him back in the cupboard for a bit and then wheel him back out. Excellent, so really pleased for him. And yeah, I do leave really proud of the group today. Really pleased. We don't pick up any injuries. I know Ibu got a bit crampy, but on another day we'd have won it.
Derby boss Paul Warne, good news about Ibu Adams there. And understandably, Sean, pretty pleased and pretty proud of his players because of the way they performed in the game. He's also quite diplomatic, I would say, about a couple of the decisions that went against Derby. We don't have to be as diplomatic. The first goal and the third goal, I mean, the ball is blatantly out of play. There's no other way to really look at it, is there?
No, you're looking at 15 yards away. I think everyone in the grounds from different angles, different positions could see the ball was over the line. Now,
especially the first one.
The first one, yeah, sorry, not the second one. The first one, definitely. And it was that obvious that everyone was expecting. Now, you can't argue with Sign's finish. It was really clever to do the little back heel. But at that point, if you look at the reactions from the players, I think it was Nels, I think it was Fozzie, all run straight to the linesman with hands in the air, completely in disbelief.
Doesn't really celebrate at first, does he?
He's waiting for the decision to go against him. He's waiting for that flag to go up. He doesn't. He can't believe his luck. He runs to the opposite side and celebrates. It was an awful decision, and it's one that he should get right. Now the second one is slightly different. It's on the opposite side of the pitch for the linesman. Same linesman again. I think the referee's in a half-decent position that once you've made such an error in the first half, it's an easy one to give, and they don't. They let the play continue, and of course it leads to the third goal, and you think the game's done at that point. So the way that Paul's come out afterwards, I think it's been kind of so proud of the team, the group. I felt a special appreciation for the fans today, because at 3-1 it looked like it was only going to go one way, and that was to Norwich. But they stuck with the group, they stuck with the team, they continued to push them, to drive them, and we almost came out with something. So if you look at all the stats, you look at the fact that 2 goals shouldn't have been, we should have come away with something. We didn't, but how you deal with that, he's doing it quite diplomatically, but ultimately the officials and the linesmen especially has let Derby down this afternoon.
We should say Sainz took all 3 goals very well, probably particularly the second. And as Paul Warne talked about there, with any goal, there are always adjustments you can make. But it's a good bit of individual play from the Norwich man.
It is. He had a couple of signs in the first half without being a real threat down that left-hand side. He had a beautiful strike on the edge of the box where he's free, and it just went past the far post. But he had 3 opportunities and took all 3. The second goal in particular was well worked from his point of view. He turned away from Curtis Nelson, had the pace to get half a yard. My only argument is at some point you have to go to the ball, whether it's Curtis Nelson or Aaron Cashin, you have to put kind of a stop to his marauding run, and he gets inside the penalty area before he lets that shot off and finds the far corner. So yes, it was a great goal. again, you can always pick at faults, and I think we should have done a little bit better. The third, we were open, far too open. Fozzie tried to delay it. You see what he's trying to do, allow Houtman to get back in position, but lovely ball from Sargent. There was a handful up front and another tidy finish. So, yeah, a couple you can argue with the officiating. One you can say maybe we could have done a little bit better. But disappointing, obviously, for those 3 goals to go in and lose the game because of it.
Usually you score twice at home and you win a game, and maybe that says something about how Derby were going forward today, because they did create plenty of certainly opportunities. And Craig Forsyth gets his first goal of the season, now scored in 7 different seasons for Derby County. We talked about him ahead of the game. Just so pleased for him to come in and have that impact as he's done so many times. Yeah,
remarkable, really. Not only to obviously score at 7 different seasons, but to put in a performance like that when you've not played. It's so difficult to be called in, not out of the blue because obviously Elder's injured, but to say you've got to start this game and want you to perform. I thought he got better as the game went on. In the first half, he obviously got booked. There was a few moments where he was in difficult positions and didn't quite maybe make the block or the tackle. The second half, he just was back to himself, driving forward, creating things. Obviously got a goal, right foot finish, which he'll be a little bit surprised with. But great to see him on the score sheet. And of course, how often does he let you down? Very, very rarely. And that's why he's been such a pivotal part of this group and this squad over the last 10, 11 years. And
the other goal scorer is Corey Blackett-Taylor, with his first for Derby since signing on loan initially last January. Talked to Paul Warne about it there. His Derby career's not really got going. I mean, how big a moment can that be for him, do you think?
Hopefully huge. You want it to be huge because you know that he's got the ability to score those kind of goals. We've seen it at his previous club. We've seen glimpses of him maybe getting in those positions. He's a right-footed player that loves playing on the left. He's got pace to get past players. He wants to cut inside. He was always looking for that in the box. He's always waiting to see where the defender goes to shift onto his right foot, and he found the far corner. So hopefully for him, if we have him with the confidence and with the ability that he has in this squad, in this team at times this season, it's just another addition. We have to be honest, it's not worked out for him so far since arriving to Derby, and that happens in your career. We hope now, with that goal, with a little bit of confidence, that we see the best of him.
Let's bring you some more reaction and hear from one of the goal scorers, Craig Forsyth.
Yeah, I think so. I think we showed our team spirit. I think really 2-1 down, 3-1 down, and we're still going for it. And the goalie's made some unbelievable saves towards the end to give them the win.
And do you feel hard done by, shall we say, by a couple of the goals this afternoon?
Yeah, certainly. There's a few dubious decisions we could say, but we don't really want to say too much on it.
Of course. A goal for you. You've now scored in 7 different seasons for Derby County. Not bad.
Yeah. It was. Obviously, it's a big thing. Set pieces, and we worked on them, and we decided to change it up a little bit, and it came off and worked again. So credit to coach and stuff.
Did you feel at that moment that you might go on and win the game? Because you certainly had the momentum.
Yeah, I think definitely second half we went after it a bit more. And when we scored, the crowd got up and everybody was behind us, and we were probably on top for the next 5-10 minutes. And then obviously the second goal goes in, but what I said, the team spirit, we didn't give up, we kept going and probing it. Went 3-1, we're still going, and towards the end, the goalie's made some good saves.
I know how close the dressing room is. How pleased are you for Corey Blackett-Taylor to get his first Derby County goal?
Yeah, delighted. I think that's hopefully what Corey needs to give him the boost in confidence and kick him on. So, yeah, I think all the subs, the gaffer said in there, that everybody's came on and made a difference when they came on. Kane was bulldozing past people as usual, the old Buffalo. So, yeah, everybody's pulling in the same direction. As you say, it's a tight group.
Yeah, and despite the result, I mean, the way you kept going at the end and the way the crowd stuck with you, does that demonstrate the togetherness that we've seen throughout this winning run?
Yeah, I think so. I think the crowd staying when you're 3-1 down with 5-10 minutes to go, whatever, shows you that they are sticking with you, and we needed it as well. They helped push us on, so we're going to need them throughout the season. Chance
to get back to anyways Tuesday now. Tough trip to Sunderland.
Yeah, it'll be a case of resting up, recovering, and getting up there and seeing what we can do. Thanks.
And there he is, that's Derby defender Craig Forsyth after scoring for Derby today in the defeat to Norwich. Latest from the Championship weekend so far. Wins already for Plymouth last night, for Blackburn over Queen's Park Rangers in the other lunchtime game, and for Sheffield Wednesday as well over West Brom, who who were the leaders going into the weekend. West Brom got back to 2-2, but Wednesday went back in front about a minute later to take the victory. Other games underway at 3 o'clock. Only goal so far. It's Hull 1, Cardiff 1. Leeds 1, Coventry 0 as the latest, and Millwall have just taken the lead against Preston as well. In terms of the table, this is accurate as of the end of Derby's game before the 3 o'clocks get underway. Derby still just about in the top half. West Brom still top for now, but that could well change by the end of the afternoon. At the other end, it's Portsmouth and Cardiff with the sides still yet to win. Preston and Millwall, two sides near or in the relegation zone. And that's all from us for now. If you want more reaction to today's game or build-up for Tuesday, it'll be on the website, dcfc.co.uk. My thanks to Barks and to you for watching. For now, goodbye.